Good morning. It's December 23rd, and I have a big call out to homeowners. You're really lucky. You're sitting on a gold mine, and it's important that you step up to the game because, unfortunately, we're playing a game right now called Bringing in Your Light. And we're not competitive, but we are. We're athletic, I say. Okay. Your homes are a gold mine. Just know that. There's so many things you could be doing to help your neighbors out and yourself in your home, including, making money in your home. Keep thinking about self-sufficiency and ways to be self-sufficient. And that means you're not commuting to a job. You're not spending an hour on the highway to get to work. You're working right in your neighborhood, okay? Start by setting the space. So prioritize your spending on what you need to accomplish these things. They're really easy. A lot of people in the neighborhood need help. You don't realize how many people, they're on a fixed income, Social Security, retirement, some type of disability, and they have a little extra to give you, so they get the help they need, from cleaning up their yard to helping with the animal. I think a better thing to do rather than dog sitting is to have a kennel at your home where you can bring the animal there and they can hang out with other animals during the day and get socialized and get some of their aggression out, and in good ways. Kids are great with animals. Get your whole family involved. It's really important you learn to run it like a business. I said on my last video, I said give an allowance. That's a great way for kids to make money on good behavior, doing chores, and then helping you in these endeavors. I started offering us out as dog sitters, my child and I, and I was surprised, a lot of people really need help with dog sitting. But better off, just let them drop their dog off to you in your kennel right in the neighborhood. And then you're not going into their house and doing all that weird stuff people do on those apps. I take photos of your pets and you can see what I've done. And this is great. I've had good people do that. But you also have to be careful with men. Men do want to try to sleep with you. If your female's doing this or what have you, you got to be real strong in what you're offering and let them know no way, shape, or form is this involved that. There's services out there. I don't know if there are. Just get online, dude, and look at some stuff. I mean, seriously. Keeping, beautifying your surroundings, but also, prevention and emergency prevention. Do you even know your neighborhood where the fire hydrants are? Do you know how to turn off stuff in your own house? Show your neighbors what's going on with their stuff. Do you know how to turn off the breakers if something goes down? Do you know how to turn off your water if you have a water pipe burst in your bathroom? I had a tricky one. I was living in a home, renting it, and kids are notorious for wanting to pull stuff out of the walls. And they flooded the bathroom, and we had solar panels too, which takes water going through them. And the water would not shut off. I shut it off behind the toilet. It still was bursting out of the wall. I said, I gotta go find it outside. Even though I'd been out there, I think, before looking. I went to the house water shut off. It still didn't turn it off. I was just getting this flood. Went out to the street, found another one, and I stopped it. And then called the landlord, and they brought help. Another time, the solar panel I just saw was sitting they converted their garage. You can do this. You can do this without permits. You just keep your garage door and you build your garage. You enclose it inside. So you put a wall up. And you secure it so the critters can't get in, and so on and so forth. And then you can have your garage as another room. And they'd done that. They enclosed their garage. It looked like a normal garage, but it doesn't open from the outside. And it had an office in it. They actually built an office too. And then it was kind of just this area. And I was sitting in this little office that they partitioned off at class. I saw water dripping on the outside of the house, and I said, "What is this?" And it was a solar panel leaking. So know what's going on with your own home, okay, and how to tackle issues when they come up. I'd get a pantry right away and start building up a pantry of supplies for people, things that they need, from family stuff like diapers and formula. I think plant-based as much as possible. Keep inviting and opening this Pandora's box for people because they're having a hard time going through it. And a pantry is real important, so you can have it free or donation. You can have it priced. You know, I don't like going in places and there's no prices. So you can also quarter things off. You know, you get cold medicine. Well, here I can sell you 2 tablets, or you can have, you know, you're really sick. Take one Dayquil. Here's 1 beer out of the 6-pack. You know, you don't have to buy the whole kit and caboodle. That's hard for us sometimes. People are glad to give you money to support you. They will, especially one-on-one like that, and you can incorporate their help and stuff like that. Have an area where you can watch their kids, a real safe play area, and they're helping with the animals and they're helping in other ways. A lot of people are really wanting to homeschool and not commute their kids to school. I wore my mask to the store today. I went and got stocked up on fruit and my plant-based meat. I got the really great beef and broccoli possible mix one, and then what's the other one I bought? I don't remember, like orange chicken or something yummy. And then you know what I got too, and I highly encourage this, is they have a sushi bar there at Stater Brothers, and I got the cucumber avocado roll again. And great way to get some good yummy food in you. And I make it a meal, you know. I got 2 of them because I ran out, and I wasted an avocado of all things, and that's a good way to get some avo in you. Just keep going plant-based too, and turning them on to plant-based stuff. I know, your pantry with toilet paper and things that people need, you know, last minute or don't want to run to the store for, you know. Also, you can open your home to people that need a room to rent and a reasonable price and have access to the house for cooking or what have you. Double up. You know, if kids are older and responsible, or you're not afraid to move out of the master, so you want to have more of a handle of the house, you want to rent the master out. Those are great ways to make money. I would also, if I had a big enough place, have the front bar, have a part like where you can have multiple beds, and for people like a hostel, they call them, you know, you're just coming in and needing a bed for a couple nights, or you got to fight with someone and, you know, hey, I have a place for you to stay, spend the night, you know, and work it out here with us, or, you know. I sound worse than I feel. The Dayquil has completely helped me sweat a bunch of stuff out, so I'm not running a fever, and that helps. And people, they start doing energy work and clearings in us, and you keep getting sick. I believe in self-healing. You're the divine healer. Just know that. Um, I've got myself out of jams where my heart was stopping. I started my own heart with other spirits and presences in me and God. You're not alone. Just know you're never alone. And breath work is good. And this will get you out and healthy and get you in shape. Grow food, start growing food. You're really, you have a gold mine. And we look at you and go, these neighborhoods seem like ghost towns. These homes are all ghost towns, and it's sad driving around from poor neighborhoods to rich neighborhoods. It's just sad. People have that opportunity to do this. You have the opportunity to do this, and I really encourage you to. Learn how to grow food. It's real easy. It wants to be grown. Start that. Have it inside too. You don't have to have your garden outside. You can have it inside. So if you have, multiple beds, unless you're nervous about your toilet or your shower, in Hawaii and places, they live more off the grid. They have outdoor showers. You can get a compost toilet. Those are really cool. You want to start composting too. And that's why you want to go vegan. You want to go plant-based because you don't want maggots. Meat produces maggots. So you compost your veggies and coffee grounds, and you can even put cardboard in there. There's things online to read about composting, and you turn it and you keep doing this. It turns into this most amazing soil. So for you to grow, see how we want to replenish. The earth keeps wanting to replenish in good ways. Do neighbor checks, making sure people are okay. Start having fun events, and you have to be careful of the brew. People getting dosed and drugged. Super important. BYOB if you're going to be out there, because they can put it in anything. But I would be careful who I'm getting stuff from. I was going to say something. Teach them, sports, and things they can move their body. How to censor yourself. You can sit there and copy people all day doing yoga. It's hard. But better than that is uncensoring yourself. You have those spirits in you. Just know your yoga spirits are there. When I start moving, I do yoga type stuff, but I do squats. I do all kinds of stuff, push-ups. I do different stuff, which you see yogis do that. They're in really good shape, when you stick to a routine. And, but I dance, I sing, I do all kinds of stuff. And it's fun. I worked out and hiked, but when I unclogged, I got all kinds of stuff. Roller skates, volleyball, tennis rackets, I bought a pool table. I don't have any of this right now. Got it all got. I was going through the awakening, so I didn't have all my presences, my spirits there, and so on. I know, really fun stuff. There's all great stuff you can do right away if you have a home. Right away, get your homemade sign and or a business card and send your neighbor. Do you have anything you need help with? Like you have dogs, animals you need to sit out in the kennel, you can drop them off, or I can come get them and bring them here and they'll play all day. It's just me. I'm going to blow my nose if I need to. Yeah, outdoor showers and compost toilets are great. You can still make them in the winter. There's ways to heat this area or what have you. Get creative. And believe me, all this stuff's been done before. A lot of it. You're not reinventing the wheel, but you are in your own way. You're making it your own. I want you to know that There's one point is in my crawl, I was trying to say, if I think of it, I do. Learn how to do massages. You know, you can buy a massage table if you're into that. It's a good healing thing for people. Some people have never been massaged before, ever. You know, it feels wonderful. If you're not nervous about someone touching you. I'm not medical, so I'm in a plant-based, over-the-counter, off-the-shelf. Nothing where you have to order and see a doctor for and things like that. These are all great money makers. Okay, people are willing to pay you to help them and to become part of a community. Because you know, you look at the schools and it's so frustrating what the schools have done. I'm really disgusted, to be honest. But they took our power away because their power was taken away. And they have us all commuting to a school. You know, I went to Broadmoor Elementary and the McCamey Junior High, and then guess what? I had to go to McClintock High School over here, and everybody I was going to school with, not everybody, went to Tempe High School. So now I'm a fish out of water. My sister started going there first, and I said, oh, they hate us, the Mexican girls. As a coconut, you know, they call us coconuts. Brown on the outside, white on the inside. And so I didn't want to ride the bus. They weren't friendly. You know, one day they'd be your friend, the next day they ignored you. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I walked 2 miles before I got my car. Catch a ride, walk. And thank God, you know, it kept me, I would have been huge. We had the worst diet ever. I was already fighting that, you know, throughout my life. My weight, which was causing a lot of depression for me. And I hated school so much, you guys. You have no idea how much people hate school. For some of you, you're safer there. So I was kind of a loner. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was just busy working. I was a latchkey kid. So my 2 sisters, my parents were always working, and my mom had her regular job during the day, but when we were young, she was working nights. It was weird. I don't know what was going on. It wasn't a good scene because my dad worked nights too. I'm like, who watched this? I know. Uncle Rudy. They fought. Him and his wife were fighting. I remember they got a knife out once, like fighting. Like, who's watching your kids, you know? And then as my sisters got older, they were so busy working and stuff that I didn't know if I was going to get let in. I didn't have a key to the house, so I was a latchkey kid, but I didn't even have a key for a while. I got older. So I was kind of a loner, and I just had my boyfriend, and then I love my job because I got excited to go get, you know, my dresses or my clothes at Ross and my makeup and stuff for my car and my CDs, 8-tracks, and probably cassettes. I think I might have a cassette player. I love dance music, R&B, something that took you on a journey, you know. Teach auto mechanics, you know. You have a gold mine in that, and so many people need their car fixed, and the shops around here, you're dealing with issues of like, oh, do you want a third party manufactured kabupa? Kabupa? Do you like a roundabout wear now of what you know about auto mechanics, or do you want to get a dilly-dally fresh one? Go to the service director directly, and you're going to get prime Kumo. And, oh, we don't work on those cars. They're too old. I actually was told that by Ford. They stopped doing that. Couldn't believe they wouldn't work on my car back when I had the money. Can you imagine not backing up a product you sold? Unbelievable. So I moved on, and by chance I went to Italy. I had graduated high school. My neighbor was a senior and a year younger than me, and her mom worked for the school department. And she goes, "Look, you can come along if you want. We have space." It's only like, I don't know, $800 or something, which was a lot of money back then. My parents were like, kind of upset about it. I could tell, but they put the money out. I got to go. I had the best time. I fell in love with Europe, and I'm like, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe this country. We went to Italy, and we went to London. We went to Sweden, Switzerland, but Italy we went to 3 different places.